Good morning, students. So last class we discussed about the a transmission line terminated with a open-ended line, short circuit line, and also terminated with a resistance, and what is meant by attenuator, and what is the attenuator wave equation, voltage equation, and current equation. All these things will be discussed in the last class. Now we go for the another application, that is the transmission line terminated with a T junction line and terminated with a reactive impedances, that is inductive reactance and capacitive reactance, and lastly blue is lattice diagram. So this is the topic. Subject is electrical power transmission system, third triple E, 3-1 semester. Topic is T junction, lumped reactive junctions, blue is lattice diagrams. T junction, lumped reactive junctions, blue is lattice diagrams. First one, T junction, transmission line terminated with a T junction. Now you have to calculate the reflector and refraction coefficients of this application. Look at the figure. So first of all, a voltage wave with voltage small v is traveling along the transmission line with a natural impedance Z1 towards the junction as shown in figure, right? At this junction, due to the change in impedance, part of the waveform is reflected and part of the waveform is travel along the parallel lines, that is impedances having Z2, Z3 respectively. Let us consider parallel line voltages and currents are V2 I2 and V3 I3 respectively for both branches. Since they are parallel to each other, the following relations hold good at the transition point. V is equal to V dash plus V double dash, that is nothing but I dash. I dash in the sense reflected current. I dash is equal to reflected voltage divided by impedance, that is I dash is equal to V dash by Z1, and I double dash minus V double dash by Z1, refracted current. So reflected current V by, in parallel branches, V by Z2, V by Z3, and apply KCL at junction. I2 plus I3 equal to I dash plus I double dash. Substitute all the values corresponding to the I2, I3 and I dash and I double dash. V by Z2 plus V by Z3 is equal to V dash by Z1 minus V double dash by Z1. But we know that V double dash, V is equal to V dash plus V double dash. From that, V double dash is equal to V minus V dash, right? V by Z2 plus V by Z3 is equal to V dash by Z1 minus V dash by Z1. So now V dash by Z1 minus V by Z1 plus V dash by Z1, that is equal to 2V dash by Z1 minus V by Z1. Now take that V by Z1 into the left side of the equation and taking a common factor of V, that is equal to V into 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3 is equal to 2V dash by Z1. Therefore, the transmitted voltage V equal to 2V by Z1 divided by 1 by Z1 plus 1 by Z2 plus 1 by Z3. Now reflected voltage. Transmitted voltage is equal to incident voltage plus reflected voltage. Therefore, reflected voltage is equal to transmitted voltage minus incident voltage, that is V minus V dash. and rearranging the above equations, we are getting the v dash is equal to v double dash v dash is equal to 1 by z1 minus 1 by z2 minus 1 by z3 divided by 1 by z1 plus 1 by z2 plus 1 by z3 into v dash. Like that, you have to calculate the refracted voltage and reflected voltage, refracted current and reflected current. So another application, that is the reactance termination. So in this section we consider the line terminated through the capacitive and inductive reactances. So first one, line terminated through capacitance. Assume that a line is terminated through a capacitor C as shown in figure. When the wave is traveling along the line with natural impedance Z0 and is terminated through C, then the transmitted voltage is determined from the equation. So transmitted voltage is equal to V of S is equal to 2 into 1 by Cs into Z0 plus 1 by Cs into V dash by S, that is equal to 2 V dash by Z0 Cs into S plus 1 by Z0 C. 2 V dash by applying partial fractions of this one, 2 V dash into 1 by S minus 1 by S plus 1 by Z0 C. After taking the inverse Laplace transform on both sides of the above equation, V of t is equal to 2 V dash into Laplace transform of 1 by S is equal to 1, that is 1 minus Laplace transform of 1 by S plus A e power minus at, that is 1 minus e power minus 1 by Z0 C into t, that is nothing but V of t is equal to 2 V dash into 1 minus e power minus t by Z0 C. So this is the transmitted voltage. Now what is the shape of the voltage waveform as shown in the figure? So it is a rectangle, it is a hyperbola, I mean, so increasing nature, square of the exponentially increasing nature. So V of t is equal to 2 V dash 1 minus e power minus t by Z0 C. Voltage is 2 V dash, the magnitude of voltage is 2 V dash. So this figure is variation of voltage across the capacitor. The final value of the voltage at its terminal is 2 V dash. The effect of capacitance is to cause the voltage at the terminals to rise the full value gradually instead of abruptly. So it flattens the wave front. Flattening the wave front is beneficial because it reduces the stress on the line end windings of a transformer connected to the line. Another one, line terminated through the inductance. So let us consider a transmitted wave across the inductor of the circuit is shown in figure, and it is traveling with a impedance Z0. Now the transmitted voltage is calculated from the before equation, that is Vs is equal to 2 into, so Laplace transform of L is nothing but Ls, 2 Ls by Z0 plus Ls into V dash by S. So that is 2 V dash S cancelled. So we have to divide the L, that is 2V dash by LL cancel, that is nothing but S plus Z naught by L. So 2V dash into 1 by S plus A, that is nothing but e power minus AT. That's why applying inverse Laplace transform on both sides from the above equation, L1 inverse of Vs is nothing but Vt, that is equal to 2V dash L inverse of 1 by S plus Z naught by L is equal to e power minus Z naught by Lt. So this is the transmitted voltage. Now from this transmitted voltage, now reflected voltage V double dash T equal to, so transmitted voltage minus incident voltage. So V dash into 2E Z naught by Lt minus 1. Like that, we have to calculate the reflected voltage, refracted voltage from line terminated with capacitance, line terminated with inductance. Now go for the another important topic, that is Blue's lattice diagram. What is meant by Blue's lattice diagram? This is a graphical representation of the time-space relation. There is nothing but which shows the position and direction of motion at any instant of the incident, reflected and transmitted current voltage surges. That means it is a graphical representation of the time-space relation. It will give the position and direction from a motion at any instant of incident or reflected or transmitted current or voltage surges. In a lattice diagram, the horizontal axis represents the distance traveled along the system. So in this Blue's lattice diagram, so the horizontal axis represents the distance traveled along the system, and the vertical axis represents the time taken to travel. Time taken to travel. At each instant of change in impedance, the reflected and transmitted values, that is current and voltages, can be calculated by multiplying incident wave values with the reflected and transmitted coefficient. That means we have to multiply the incident waves or transmitted waves or reflected waves. So here case 1, case 2 will be available. Case 1, suppose if receiving end is open circuited, what will happen? Consider a line connected to a source of constant voltage V at one end and open circuited at the other, as shown in figure. Let alpha S and alpha L be the reflection coefficient at the sending end and the load end respectively. T, the time taken by the wave to travel from one end to other end. When t equal to 0, that is at the starting, t equal to 0 seconds, the voltage V is connected to the source and starts traveling along the line reaching to the load end in a time t seconds, same magnitude. Since the load end is open circuited, the wave reflected back with a magnitude alpha LV, that is equal to V, at a time t plus seconds reaches the source end in time 2t with a magnitude of v. The reflected wave is reflected back once again with a magnitude of alpha sv from the source end after reaching the source end at a time 2t plus, and this process is continued identically. The same procedure can be implemented for current wave also. This procedure is illustrated in the lattice diagram as shown in below figure. Z0 impedance, so resistance Rs and V. At the source end, small v with t equal to 0. So it will traveling to load end with a magnitude of v. After reaching the load end, it will be reflected back with v. Why? Because 2v minus v, that is v. T equal to 0, it will be started. T equal to 2t. T equal to 2t. Again it will be v. Now it's starting with a multiplying factor alpha 3 v, then 4t. It will be multiplying alpha square s v. So v alpha sv alpha sv alpha square sv. Case 2, if receiving end is connected with a resistor R, consider a line connected to source of constant V at one end and the other end is connected by a resistance R as shown in figure. Let alpha C and alpha L be the reflection coefficient at the same, alpha S and alpha L be the reflection coefficient at the sending end and load end respectively, and the time taken by the wave to travel from one end to another end in it. When time t equal to 0 seconds, voltage V is connected to the source end. After reaching the junction, the wave is split into two parts. One part of the wave is transmitted and the other is reflected back with a magnitude of alpha LV at a time t plus seconds. It travels towards source and reaches the source end at a time 2t with a magnitude of alpha LV. At a time t plus, again it will be flowing through the load end towards the, it reaches the source, it reaches the load with a time 3t and the magnitude is alpha S alpha L V, and this process will be continued identically. The same procedure can be implemented for the current wave also. This process is illustrated in the lattice diagram. That means at t equal to 0, the incident wave V is traveling and reaches the load end with a value of magnitude V. Some of the waves are reflected back to the source end. The magnitude of that reflected wave is alpha LV. Now the source will be provided again alpha S alpha LV and so on continuously such that this procedure will be calculated in the lattice diagram shown in the above figure. So this is about the Lewis lattice diagram. Open-ended Open circuited, there is no problem. V, alpha S, alpha S square. There is no alpha L included. Why? Because it is a open circuited. Only alpha S will be coming. But coming to the terminated with resistor R. So at T, alpha LV, at 3T, alpha S, alpha LV, 5T, alpha S square, alpha L square, V. Like that, there will be changes. That is the small difference between the open circuit line and terminated with a resistor. This is how the bluish lattice diagram will be constructed. Thank you for watching. Next class we discuss about the problems on reflected refractor transmitted coefficients for different applications, that is terminated with line terminated with open circuit and line terminated with short circuit line, and also resistor, cable. Now this bluish lattice diagram, all these things, the problems will be included in the next 2 videos. Thank you once again. To see this video, please subscribe the DBS Talks. Thank you.